Hey, what's going on, everyone? Henry Kaminski, the brand doctor from uniquedesigns.net with another tutorial video for you guys. Today, we are going to be going over the importance of developing stylescapes for your brand identity. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes and kind of walk you through exactly how we do it for our clients. So let me share screens with you real quick and we'll get this party started. So prior to getting into any design identity for our clients, we go through a very, very thorough summary. Well, let me back up. Discovery and insights process. So what I like to do is go deep diving into the client's business and really diagnose the values, the purpose, the why behind the business, who their target audience truly is, who do they truly want to work with, dive deep into the demographic and psychographics of their audience, and then develop the brand identity based on all of that information that we uncover. So that is the brand accelerator discovery and diagnosis program, which we do prior to any design identity work. So once we develop all of that information, then we can get into the Stylescape process and really start to point the direction of the brand's look and feel. And so what we typically do is we create 3 different looks and feels. Now, these Stylescapes aren't used for promotional use whatsoever. These Stylescapes are developed to define 3 things, okay? One is the overall look and feel, so the imagery, right, of the brand. We want to talk about color scheme, right? So the color, the basic colors we're going to be using for the business, and the typography. So the font selection, right? So those 3 things are what we create the Stylescapes for, to really get a sense of what direction we want to take this brand identity to, right? So what we do is we create 3 different concepts and we present to the client accordingly. So this is concept number 1. So again, there's a lot of elements here. We're playing around with logo design here. We're trying to get a good feel, good look and feel for the logo design. So you'll see some logo creations in here as concepts as well. So looking at this from left to right, we start to play around with some navigation looks and feel for a potential website. We then go into some print collateral, some physical product. We start to define the color scheme. This may be a potential section of a website. Then we get into the button style. Then we start playing around with some icons and some personal brand logos. And then we get into some imagery here at the end. And then this is our beautiful client, Lois, here. We want to bring her into the actual design of the Stylescape as well, so she can get a feel for what she's going to look like on all the different brand identity that we're going to create for her. So this was concept number 1 that we developed. And then we got into concept number 2, which is right here. You can see it's a much more flat look, right? We have a different color scheme, whole different, typography, selection. And as we move from left to right, we're now defining a whole different color palette, whole different typography scheme. We have some print collateral here that perhaps we can create for her in the future for marketing purposes. Then we have our typefaces and patterns that we may be using in the future. Here's a really cool sort of, what do they call that? Tiled look and feel, perhaps for their website. And we get into some imagery here as well. And all of this is done, guys, very intentionally. We're basing all of the design elements off of who our client is serving. So I want to just make a quick point here, guys. When you're developing your brand identity, yes, you have to be confident with it. You have to love it, and it needs to feel and look and be you. However, you are truly designing this brand for your audience. And so what I would strongly recommend is you do not get super romantic with a font, with a color, with a image, because it's not about you, guys. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but it's really not about you. It's about your client, and what's going to resonate with them is what's going to drive revenue and sales for you. So you have to really create your brand identity around what it is that they connect with. So I just want to make that huge point, because a lot of people get really caught up on a color or a font because they love it, and it's not not a great strategy. It's not going to really get you too far, because if your clients don't connect with it, then it doesn't make a difference, does it? So this was Stylescape number 2. Okay. And then last but not least, we have Stylescape number 3. Okay. And this is, start from the left. So this was the actual Stylescape that the client chose, and this was the concept that actually won in the competition, if you will, between the other 2 Stylescapes. So here is the brand logo and also the personal brand logo of this particular client. Here is some potential business card design. Here's a potential invoice or documentation design that we created. Here's beautiful Lois again. Here's a potential look and feel of perhaps a hero image on a website. Here's some really cool print collateral that we may design in the future with some really awesome imagery, which really hones in on their target audience. And then we have this really cool washed out logo in the background here. Really gives the imagery a nice touch. And this, my friends, was the design that won, the concept that won the Stylescape development process. And so I want to just share with you guys the reason why, again, we create these Stylescapes. We need to really point the direction of the design identity of the business, and we need a process in place in order to do that. So we work very systematically here at Unique Designs. We do not do things off the cuff. We don't try to throw shit against the wall and see if it sticks. Everything that we create is very intentional and follows a very specific process. And that's what gets us the beautiful brand identities that we create for our clients. So the importance of the Stylescape process is to really direct that look and feel. So again, we look at the imagery that we're going to be using throughout, defining our typography and font selection, and also defining our color scheme, color palette, and what happens next once we create and once we finalize the Stylescape process. We go into the brand guide development. So that is the Bible or the Holy Grail, if you will, that particular brand will abide by going forward when it comes to creating any sort of brand identity for them in the future, whether it be print collateral, digital collateral. The designers that would be working on that work would follow that brand guide to a T. Otherwise, we would reject the designs or concepts created. So this is a very, very important part of the brand identity process. It is the foundational roots of where it all starts. And this is why we create beautiful brands for our clients, because again, we have a very systematic approach of doing it. If you try to skip this step and you're going off of different types of just looks and feels because you think they are what it should look like, it is not the proper strategy to develop a very long-lasting, credible, authoritative, impactful brand. So there you have it, guys. A quick little tutorial in the Stylescape process and how we create brand identities for our clients. So if you have any questions, comments, drop them down below in the comments. Be happy to interact with you and engage with you and follow up with any sort of additional information that could help you design a reputable and profitable brand. And last but not least, guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I invite you to do that now. It's my duty and mission to bring you as much value as I possibly can, again, to help you build a successful business for yourself, for your family, and for your clients. So have an amazing day, guys, and I'll catch you on the next tutorial video next week. Take care.